What's crafting? Whoa. Got me a couple of my spikes right here. Let me see if I can get a little light. See? These spikes, man, these are some of the best little throwing tools because they'll stick, man, pretty uniformly. Just and then they're so small it gives you you got to generate. You only got so much little amount of friction there to in between you and the spike, but they'll go in pretty. You don't think they'll go in wood, man? You're crazy. You just got to use the right force in the correct uh, aim, basically. Your technique's just got to be good, and they'll stick. It might not go in deep, but I mean, really, a lot of these throwing tools, they're not meant to be a one shot, one kill type thing. It's more or less just like an irritant or something that'll slow someone down. That's about it. So, but it's still, I like this skill a lot. But see, just this is made out of coat hanger. Like you could take this thing hanging on the wall right here, just flatten it out with the hammer. Really, all you need to make these type of things is look. These are good things. Snips, wire snips, uh, possibly a hacksaw or a sawzall, a wheel grinder. If not a wheel grinder, then you need a file, a hammer, and I don't know if I said hacksaw. It's good to have some kind of an anvil surface too, because to flatten out the tips, you make more arrowhead shaped tips, which I like better. But they're good if they're just round. That's fine too. And then it's extracting materials. You tear apart any furniture. A lot of furniture has metal in it. They're crooked pieces of metal. You just got to straighten them out. It's a bitch to straighten them out, but and all this little, all this working with your hands, this snipping, there's a grip. That hitting with the hammer is a arm move. That with if you're using a file, or if you're going like this on a file, it's like you're developing all your abilities too. That's another upside to making your own stuff. But the fatter the gauge of the wire or the whatever you're using, whatever your material, the heavier, you know what I'm saying, it's going to make. So that's the difference. There's heavier is good for penetrating different things. Like if you get the right point and the right weight, you can penetrate metal. I've seen it done, so you can't tell me you can't. Same thing with Chinese stars. All you got to do is just find a long piece rectangle of metal, cut in strips, and then just cut in diagonals all the way down, and you'll have you could make so many Chinese stars your own. I mean, that's the thing. I know how to make my own stuff. So it's just in case. It's good to have professional made stuff. It's great. That's great, but it's expensive. And the way I actually like, a lot of people have, they got their ninja sword in a case sitting up. It's ceremonial, it's ornamental. Anything of mine is going to be used a lot. So you got to have things that if they break down, let me get some more. It can't be a big deal. That's not. And if I don't have the money to replace all these all the top of the line stuff you can get, because I mean, how good do you actually need it? Once you get a great sword, it should last you a lifetime. I mean, I don't think I would ever have a real sword. They're too hard to acquire, the money to get them. So I gotta, settle for whatever else is around, what's available, what's cheap, what's garbage, what garbage can I turn into my tools. But I've made hundreds of different of my own personal projectiles, but they all disappeared, man. I only got a small little remnant, and but I know how to make them. It's relatively inexpensive. Even if you buy the equipment that you need, it's only really a couple $100. And then if you want to go buy stuff from the store, or if you want to find it, finding it takes opportunity and time. Plus, you have to go sometimes grab something out of someone's garbage, which looks, a lot of people, are too proud to make it look like they're rummaging through garbage. But I found a lot of firewood. I found most of the stuff I've used to create, my different things. Like in my first video, the thing that I used to hit like this, that was made out of wood from a roof job, and some cushions that they were thrown away from a boat. But it served its purpose well while I had it. I don't know what happened to it. I assume someone disassembled it and took it elsewhere, because I don't know. But then again, in the city, not everyone has fires. You know what I'm saying? So they wouldn't see that as firewood. Like, I don't care where I'm at. I like to have a fire every now and then. A campfire outside. So I see, after I use something as like like this box right here. After I use that for a while, I could always turn it into firewood. Always turn it into firewood. Or kindling for the fire. But yeah, making your own stuff will really roughen up your hands too. Like big time. Just working with metal, it's dangerous too. So it's good to have eyewear and earplugs. Things like that. If you're gonna do shit, do it safe. I don't always do things safe. Like that thing just flew right back to here. I probably should have on safety goggles, but I don't have any safety goggles right now, so I'm gonna have to depend on my ability to turn out of the way before it hits my eyeball. Because if it plugs me in the arm, that's what I get for practicing. That it happens. This is something, and believe me, I'm at probably 100,000 different throws later, and a good 3% of those have clung right back at me. And I throw machetes, I throw screwdrivers, just anything with a point on it, axes, knives on strings. I mean, that's the most dangerous. When you get that and it sticks, do not yank it back towards your face, because when it comes free, it comes flying like a bullet. And if it misses, it goes right here. Like, you could feel the wind go, you can hear it go by your ear. Like I said, I almost decapitated myself with a machete on a chain one night because I was stupid. This was in the beginning when I first learned that you could do all this stuff, so I was kind of having these stupid over masculine tendencies for a minute. And I threw this fucking machete on a chain, and it stuck in this big piece of wood, and I was yanking on it like this, and it wouldn't come free. I was sitting down too, and this was over a fire, and finally it came loose. And I'm not lying to you, it looked like a semi. It looked like a semi went and flew right by right here. It flew right by. Like, it was this close, this long machete blade. I mean, listen, no one ever tried that. I'm lucky. I could be on the internet as one of those faces of death, or on that, what's that show on the Man channel, where it shows 99 Ways to Die or whatever. I mean, look, I almost caught it. But like I said, after that, you respect the blade that much more, because you wouldn't know that you could cut off your own head until it almost happens to you, or unless you saw someone else do it, or there's a rumor like, don't do that because that will happen. It can happen. So for if you're ever into that, throwing blades on flexible things, chains, string, whatever, wire. When it sticks, do not yank back toward yourself. Always go down and up, and then once it's loose, then you can reel it into yourself. Or you can even yank it back to yourself a little better. But still, it's like it's never good to yank right back at yourself. You know what I'm saying? This is some of the stuff that if you really want to pursue the weapons aspect of training martial arts. Listen, and I'm not throwing nothing at anyone. This is always, it's surviving it yourself at first before you can ever. And it's impractical to do any of this shit, really. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, it's like a calling card. It's a signature. Not everyone can do that. So if someone did do it, the suspects would be so few, and it just doesn't happen because people don't do that. It's easier just to do other ways. You know what I'm saying? So it's only for this the training, the ability to do it. If, like I said, if you were stuck in Alaska, it'd be you could use that for fishing. You know what I'm saying? There's always life-preserving technology can always be used for life-oppressing technology. It's like, here's the biblical flip on it. You know what I'm saying? It says, beat your pruning forks into spears and your plowshares into swords. So it means that's exactly what that means. It's like, look, right now the purpose is, I need a sword, we're under attack, there's invaders, but when they're gone, we need to feed the people. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. So, that's what's up.